The first Exo-Earth has been found. Armadillo airspace flies to 42 kilometers. SpaceX Dragon heading for ISS. Billionaire Paul Allen funding giant air launch system.
Hello, I am Amanda Bush, your host of the virtual Space TV show. This time with news from Armadillo Aerospace, SpaceX, Stratolaunch systems and the search for Exo-Earth-like planets. Nice to have you with me. For the first time, a planet similar to Earth has been observed circling a star that is comparable to our Sun. The planet Kepler 22b is about 2.4 times the size of Earth and travels in orbit in the habitable zone around its star, where temperatures on the planet's surface would allow for liquid water, if the atmosphere is similar to that of Earth in pressure and combustion. The orbiting Kepler observatory does not observe a planet directly, but instead looks for a tiny drop in the light coming from a star when a planet transits in front of it. The Kepler telescope continually looks at the same patch of the Milky Way and measures the light from over 150,000 stars simultaneously. The team requires that a dip in light occur at least 3 times before they will declare that a dip indicates a planet. This corresponds to 3 exo-years as planet revolves around its star. The Kepler spacecraft was launched in March 2009, so it is only now able to see the third transit of a planet in an Earth-sized orbit. The Kepler 22b year is 290 Earth days long. So far, Kepler has collected over 1,000 exoplanet candidates, and will collect thousands more as its observation time increases. Perhaps it will eventually spot a planet even closer in size to Earth in the habitable zone of a Sun-like star. Kepler 22b is over 600 light-years from Earth, so we won't be visiting there anytime soon, unless warp drive is quickly invented. However, as our space and ground-based observatories grow in capability, we will one day directly observe Earth-like planets and look for signs of life on them. The small Texas company Armadillo Aerospace flew a liquid-fueled rocket to nearly 42 kilometers on December 4 from the New Mexico commercial spaceport. They successfully recovered the vehicle intact and plan to fly it again in January. The company, which is headed by the famous computer game programmer John Carmack, is using this conventional tube rocket design to test hardware and operational techniques that they will use with their manned suborbital space vehicle, which they are currently building. They also plan eventually to cluster several tube rockets together to reach really high altitudes. In fact, staging of such clustered tube rockets could even put a payload into orbit at low cost. NASA just announced that it has given the go-ahead for SpaceX to proceed with plans to fly its Dragon capsule to the International Space Station on February 7th. SpaceX and NASA have been sharing the costs of development of the Dragon capsule and Falcon 9 rocket within the COTS, or Commercial Orbital Transportation Services, program. NASA started the COTS program in 2006, and it also includes orbital sciences. The goal is for each company to develop a new rocket and capsule system for delivering cargo to the ISS. With the space shuttles now in retirement, it is very important that this service get underway to support the crews on the station. However, before they begin regular service, they must demonstrate they can do it safely. The first SpaceX GOTS demonstration flight took place in December 2010 and was a complete success. A Dragon capsule was launched into space by a Falcon 9 rocket, and after orbiting the Earth twice, the capsule entered the atmosphere and parachuted to a safe recovery off the coast of California. The demonstration flight in February will see a Dragon capsule actually rendezvous with the station. It will move close enough for a robotic arm to grab the capsule and bring it to a docking port for berthing at the station. The capsule will later undock from the station and return to Earth for recovery. If the mission is a success, regular cargo delivery flights by the Dragon should begin later in 2012. The first flight of the Orbital Sciences Antares and Cygnus capsule should be in early 2012 as well. On December 13th, Microsoft billionaire Paul Allen held a press conference to unveil a plan to develop a new orbital launch system. It will involve building the world's largest aircraft to carry a multi-stage rocket to 30,000 feet, or 9 kilometers, where it will be released and fired to take satellites and eventually people into space. The company's Stratolaunch Systems will build the aircraft designed by Burt Rutan, who also designed the White Knight 2 and Spaceship One system that won the X Prize contest in 2004. That project was funded by Paul Allen as well. This time the rocket vehicle will be built by SpaceX and will be capable of placing over 13,000 pounds, about 5,900 kilograms, to low Earth orbit. The gigantic carrier aircraft will use 6 Boeing 747 engines and other components. However, the structure will be built of composite materials like most of Rutan's other vehicles. The wingspan will be an amazing 385 feet, or 117 meters. At takeoff, the combined aircraft and rocket will weigh 1.2 million pounds, or nearly 545,000 kilograms. Air launch is a very flexible way to launch rockets as compared to a fixed-ground spaceport pad. There are also some performance advantages in launching a rocket at high altitudes. The first flight of the aircraft is planned for 2015 and the first rocket flight in 2016. The goal is to provide significantly lower cost access to space for medium-sized spacecraft and, after proving its reliability and safety, for passengers. We will be back with the next show at the beginning of the coming year, and will then give you an outlook on planned space activities in 2012. You can find us as usual on www.hobbyspace.com. Thanks for watching, and tell your friends about us. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.